Hello, modern mystic. You, at this point, if you're watching this video, you are finding enlightenment right in your living room. What do I mean by that? I'm going to let you know. We're going to dive deep to rise higher. Hey, this is Rebecca. We are remembering our greatness together, expanding consciousness. I am in a meditation right now. I just got out of a meditation. I would say I'm still in it. I feel a little buzzy and I'm all, just feeling light and feeling this crystalline energy. And it made me become aware of the topic of the modern mystic. Carolyn Myss talks about that in one of her podcasts about being the modern mystic, is that we're not going to a cave or a mountaintop or an ashram to awaken and ascend. We actually are doing it in suburbia, in our living rooms now. That this great awakening time is creating a time where there are more people on this awakening journey and ascension journey, and that it is happening right here in our homes. And that it brings up the commonality of it, which is wonderful because it's gracing our planet with some higher frequency and consciousness. But it also brings up a conundrum of how do we really live? How do we really live in like a modern 3D reality when we're going through an ascension process, when we're feeling called to spend hours in stillness and quiet, when we're feeling called to be these potent creators of energetics, when we're being called to raise our vibration, and what discomfort that might cause in our day, that we have a hard time focusing on our work. How do we journey in this predicament of being the modern mystic, kind of hanging out in our living room and becoming these light beings? Well, so this is what we're talking about today. And one of the great things that has really helped me, aside from meditation and stillness, is my voice. And your voice, your sound, can be a wonderful tool for this journey of enlightenment. And what do I mean by enlightenment? Well, enlightenment, getting lighter, raising our vibration, getting more light into the density. And so as we enlighten, when you think about using the word enlightened, oh, I just was enlightened about this topic. We shed light on it. We grow consciousness around something. And it's the same thing. We're growing consciousness about our energetics, our vibrational nature, our where we really are from and where we really are going. And we get enlightened about this topic. It's an awakening journey and an ascension journey. As we raise our vibration, we are enlightening. As we raise our vibration, we are ascending, and we are learning how to sustain higher vibrations. And so what I've really been learning about enlightenment, vibration, frequency, is that, and dimensions. So yeah, vibrations, frequency, and dimensions are all related. And this has been kind of a new discovery of mine, and not of mine, just I've discovered, I've become enlightened around this topic of dimensional realities and vibration. So it's existed. It's not like I've discovered it. But vibrational reality and how that pertains to dimensions is kind of an eye-opening thing for me lately. It's Yeah, how when we raise our vibration, we are tapping into different dimensional realities. And yeah, so when we are just trudging along, like being human, we are in a 3D frequency. And as we become enlightened and awake, we go into a fourth dimensional frequency. And the thing is, there's lots of frequencies within the bandwidth of each dimension. So if you're jumped into the frequency of fourth dimension, you can have a bandwidth of the beginning of fourth dimension, middle, and upper corridor. And same thing with fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and it goes on up to 144 dimensions, as far as I know right now. And so it's an interesting discovery about frequencies and dimensions. And so here we are. A lot of humans right now are in frequencies that range from the third dimension all the way up to probably the fifth. There's probably some fifth dimension beings. And it doesn't mean that we don't have some frequencies that are even higher than that. A lot of times in meditation, we can visit the real high frequencies that might go into higher dimensions. And they can totally be visited. And we have an enlightened experience from it. And we get all, ooh, and we get some consciousness and we expand a little bit. But we don't stay at those frequencies. We usually drop back down to a lower frequency, sustained in our body. So as a modern mystic, you are basically raising your vibration and expanding consciousness. And, that can be thrilling and feel peaceful. And it also can bring up some sensitivities and some discomfort. But today I'm focusing on just being the modern mystic in the living room. And so you have these euphoric kind of enlightened experiences, and what do you do with them? Like you're sitting in meditation and all of a sudden you notice your vibration does a jump, and you're sitting on your couch and you're like, oh, what just happened? What happened is your vibration took a jump, and you're getting to feel the different realms and different dimensions and enjoy it. And when we're in those really light places, other energies can be like, ooh, and different frequencies that could be called entities, or could be called oppositional forces, or angelics, or fallen angelics. Or there's all different names for lots of different frequencies. But basically, it's a frequency that's not really a match for the enlightened state you're in. So if you are in your living room and you're meditating and you're raising up and stuff, just ask for the appropriate protection, energetic protection around you to keep you safe and high vibing. Because, to be honest, there's just so much going on in the unseen world, and there's lots of entities. Even though some entities have high vibrations, they have sometimes they have agendas that to bring the light down, bring consciousness down. So if you are hanging out in your living room, having an enlightened experience, really protect your field. Put a protective bubble around the room or the house you're in, and just say, this is vibrationally protected, and only the highest vibrations for my highest good sanctioned at source for me, by me, as me, can come through. And so you want to kind of set that up. But I kind of went off on a tangent because I wanted to talk about voice. So as you're in your living room having this enlightened experience, use your voice. It's really fun. It's really fun to use your voice coming out of a meditation, or even going into a meditation. So I want to tell you today how to do that. So what's really cool is that before you go into a meditation, you can kind of see where you are vibrationally focused. Okay, we all talk about vibrational alignment, find alignment. So you can tell what you're aligned with by receiving your own voice. So before you even do a meditation, letting out a few ohms. And sitting with it. And you're not mentally judging it. What's happening is your heart space is, or your energetics are becoming aware of the energetic focus in the voice vibration. And from there, you can ohm a few more times to kind of clear any density out. And then sit with meditation and just sit still and, tune in how you tune in. And then afterwards, after your meditation, ohm again. Om. Om. And not from the mind, but from the heart. What are you aware of? When you do this before and after you meditate, it's really cool because you get to become aware of what frequencies were in the ohm, in the vibration of the ohm, okay? Before the meditation and after the meditation. You can start to see the alchemical process of meditation and stillness through the voice. Perhaps before meditation, there was a frequency there that was a little denser or that had some story in it. It's really cool what shows up. You can't even predict what shows up in your awareness around just receiving your own sound. And so here you have before your meditation. And then after your meditation, when you've raised the vibration and you're kind of in this yummy space, what's there? Notice the difference. This is all part of expanding your consciousness and using your voice to expand your awareness. It's really, really cool. It's a cool practice. And you don't have to do it just on Om. You can do it on ooh, you can sing anything. You can just say a word. I like singing it because you elongate a sound and you have a moment to really gather some awareness around the frequency in there. And so as opposed to just saying, Om, if you elongate it, all singing is elongating a word, right? Om, Om. So you have all that space when you elongate it to really become aware and receive your own sound and what frequency is in focus there, right? And what frequency you're like, I want to see if I can raise that up. And so the voice is a wonderful way for the modern mystic to be sitting in their living room and just gaining awareness and gaining higher frequencies and receiving higher frequencies just through your own voice. It's an amazing practice. And this is the voice work that I coach people on, is using their voice as an awareness practice and seeing what's alive there. What is alive and ripe there? And what, as the modern mystic, are you like, I'm ready. I am ready to transform this frequency into something lighter, okay? And you can do that with your voice and with your own awareness. And of course, if you're like, this is kind of new to me and I'd love to have some support or coaching, that's where I step in and I kind of guide you a little bit. So for the modern mystic, the voice is a wonderful tool. It's fun. It's not about sounding pretty or good or anything. It's about listening to the rate of vibration, frequency that's in your voice, because everything is a vibration. Everything, every thought, feeling, emotion, right? Every trauma, drama, contract, belief, right? Everything has a frequency, has a rate of vibration. And so when you let out a sound wave, sound waves carry a frequency that you can audibly hear and be aware of. So it's a great, tangible tool to learn about what frequencies are really being focused in your field right now. And it's kind of cool. They could be yours, or they could be the collectives, or they could be like individually not yours. You could be like holding a frequency for, you know, a person next door, you know, like depending on how like you run. But like sometimes empaths can be holding a frequency for a neighborhood, or for a certain group of people, or so for a certain agenda, or for just a person in their lives. And so, you know, asking a question, well, what is this? Whose is this? You could be holding a frequency for the planet, you know. So you could be holding a frequency for something in the cosmos, for, you know, yeah, really anything. So ask the question and see what you become aware of, you know, like let out your long om and receive your sound, and then ask if you're kind of like, whoa, what's that? Where did that come from? Ask question. What is this? Who is this? Is this mine? Is this someone else's? Is this the collective's? And you start with those questions, you start cultivating awareness, okay? And then just sit with it. Or keep oming, because one of the experiences that I've had is that, oh my gosh, if I keep oming, it clears it out. You know, if I keep oming without attaching anything to it, it just clears the frequency out. And then you can be focused, you know, on the light or your higher vibration. So guys, you're a modern mystic. You're hanging out in your living room, having these mystical, magical experiences, you're becoming enlightened, and you're waking up right in your living room. In suburbia. And guys, it's interesting. Back in the day, everyone had that were going through these higher awakenings. You know, they usually had a guru, or a support community. And here we are, doing it in our living room, looking at like YouTube to see like what the hell's going on with me. And so yeah, there's a lot of information and support on YouTube. You know, go with what you feel aligned with, but there's also a lot of stuff on YouTube that can junk you up too. You know, this isn't to put out a scare factor, but guys, stay pure with your light, and stay really connected with your source and your source, because there are a lot of frequencies and energies and entities out there that really have an agenda to control light workers, and they don't want people to raise up to a certain frequency or have reach a certain enlightenment. So it's going to be important to have some discernment right now, and you can hear that through your voice. You can feel that. So when you align, when you're meditating, align with your source, okay? And get the frequency of that, get the sensation of that. And anything that's not in alignment with that, really ask it to go away. We don't have to be scared, because we are really potent modern mystics and light workers. Our intention and our ability to create vibrational protection really is potent, and no one can really touch us if we are aware of that. So really ask, like, you know, especially if you're vibing high, like, you know, I'm asking source, sanctioned by me, as me, for me, to have the protection appropriate for where I am, what I'm doing today. And that's it. And so it's just these conscious practices that help us in our modern mystic living room experiences, and as we go out into the world and drive kids to school and go to the food store and go to the bank, you know, all the 3D things that we have to do as a modern mystic. You know, just put some energetic protection up. Use your voice to see where you are and how to clear yourself. Be sure you're doing half-hour meditations and really tuning into your lightness. And wishing you all the best on this enlightenment journey. And it's an exciting time, this Great Awakening. If you have any questions about enlightenment in your living room, please put them in the comments. There's lots of videos on this channel to lots of different topics that can support you right now as the modern mystic in your living room. And guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate that. You taking your time to watch this and to be supported by this. Welcome to the tribe. If you'd like to see more, subscribe, like, and click that bell. And I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.